Hello again. Do you want to breed a dog and don't know how to do it right? I propose some useful tips that you must follow before taking a dog into your home. When it comes to choosing a dog, many dog lovers often ask themselves these questions. What should I choose, female or male, a small puppy or a mature dog, ideally already trained? But first of all, ask the question, which breed suits me, or which breed should I choose? Either you saw a dog of a certain breed with someone you know and liked it, or you saw a movie about a very funny dog, or very devoted to its master. Being passionate, you choose a dog at random. When we're little, we're cute, fluffy, and seemingly obedient, but once we've grown up, many dog lovers face a series of frustrations. What did I not do correctly? You usually blame us dogs that we are stupid, disobedient, or maybe not purebred, but forget most of the time that we are just animals whose whole life is based on instincts and reflexes. The reality is that it all depends on how you raise and educate your dog, and that you need to be aware of the responsibility you are taking on once you have decided to get a dog. So before getting a puppy, you need to put and answer the following questions. 1. What do you need a dog for? Guarding, hunting, or simply need a companion dog? If you want a service dog, write in the comments.
You cannot get a Labrador to guard your house. In this case, a German Shepherd, a Rottweiler, a Doberman, or a Cane Corso is recommended. There are other breeds designed for this purpose. And as a companion dog, a Labrador, a Border Collie, or a Beagle is just right. You can also choose a small dog. After you have determined what you need a dog for, you can already choose which breed is more suitable for you. 2. You must inform yourself about the characteristics of the breed you want to adopt. In this case, we take into account the level of aggressiveness, size, or mobility of the breed. Look for information on the history of the breed, and if it was designed for hunting, then don't expect it to be a good guard in the yard. Any dog is very good, only for the purpose for which it was designed. Subscribe to the channel, and I will post about dog breeds. The next video will be about Jack Russell. 3. Another thing to consider is, do you have the time to adopt a puppy? Time to feed, walk, and play. You have to keep in mind that a 2 to 3 month old puppy, to have a harmonious and healthy development, needs 4 to 5 meals in 24 hours. Likewise, you have to think ahead of time about a training program. Do you do it yourself or call an instructor? Do you have the necessary time for these trainings? Or even if you use the services of an instructor, you will still need to take time for a few lessons to familiarize yourself with the principles and methods of training the dog's reflexes. In many cases, it is easier to train the necessary reflexes for the dog than for its owner. 4. Do you have enough space for your dog, especially for medium and large dogs? A Malinois, a Husky, or an Akita Inu will wreak havoc in a small apartment room because they need a lot of exercise. There are also small breed dogs that also need space because they have a lot of energy, such as a Jack Russell. They are willing to run continuously. You have to understand that every dog has its own energy, which if you don't use up through training and play, they will find ways to do it on their own.
5. Do you have the necessary financial resources? In addition to purchasing a dog, maintaining it requires many other expenses, for veterinary care and vaccines, equipment and food. At the same time, you have to ask yourself the question, what do you do with the puppy in case you have to leave home for a longer period? Are you taking him with you? Do you have the necessary space in the car and the possibility to take it with you? Or leave it with a neighbor or other trusted person? If you leave him at home, he has someone to come and give him food and water at least. It's a pretty good question, which probably doesn't come to your mind when you buy your dog. But it all depends on how bad you want this puppy. I know some people who don't have any of these problems because they are our fans, and they love us without drawing attention to the jokes we make. But most people, after a while, when the dog reaches adulthood, they realize that they did not make exactly the right choice, especially if the dog missed the initial training lessons. 6. An equally important factor is that the whole family agrees with the adoption of the dog. While we are small, we are playful, beautiful, cheerful, the children are happy and give us due attention, everything seems to be ideal. But once we grow up, your attitude towards us also changes. Due to improper maintenance, some dogs can adopt some unwanted behaviors and even aggression. I will also talk about dog behaviors on this channel. For some members of your family, a dog can become a nuisance, which can lead to problems in the family in the future, even if at first they accept it just to please you, Over time this frustration grows until it reaches at a critical point. Hair left around the room, scratches on the wall or furniture bites, barking and howling while you rest, or just some disturbing factors that can occur. So I recommend consulting the whole family before this purchase. What to choose, a female or a male? This feature is not so important, but you need to take into account some aspects. Females are more prone to training, they have a calmer and more flexible behavior than males. In relationships with people and especially with children, they show maximum affection and care, but during the heat period, which occurs twice a year, their behavior can change dramatically, even to the point of aggression. At this moment, females pay attention only to the opposite sex. Let's not forget that females have the ability to reproduce, which is also an advantage. Males naturally have more impressive external features. They, unlike females, experience a much stronger sexual desire, so the owner must accustom him to strict obedience from the first days when the puppy appears in the house. Only in this way, as well as through long-term physical effort, will it be possible to control the behavior of the boy, which is driven by sexual instincts. If you manage to raise a male dog correctly, he will show his best qualities: loyalty and willingness to defend his master and family at any time, even at the cost of his own life. Puppy or adult dog? I always recommend a puppy, with few exceptions, if you have reliable sources that this dog has been properly raised and educated. You can easily train a small puppy according to your character and lifestyle. The smaller the puppy, the easier and faster it will adapt to its new home. If you get a very young dog, you can raise it into a well-mannered and educated dog even without experience. It is very difficult to rehabilitate a dog in adulthood. You will have to be patient and be prepared for the fact that it will take a long time for the dog to start listening, respecting and loving the new owner. Adult dogs, who have already formed their habits and character, will require more strength and attention. But any difficulties can be overcome if the owner is determined and ready to sacrifice personal comfort for a while in order to befriend the dog and educate him properly. I hope that this information was useful, and I am waiting for you on the channel to watch other videos about the dog and its training.